everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Laura. Today our recipe, we are going to make some stuffed pork chops. These are center cut thick pork chops. I'm going to show you the thickness. The first thing that we are going to do, here I have some spinach. This is frozen spinach. As you can see here, it drains a lot of the water. And what I do, I just grab it with my hand and squeeze it. Try to get all the water out of there you can. See? So we're going to get rid of that. I'm going to dump it in the sink. And then we're going to take our spinach and we're going to chop this up into small pieces. Just so that we can incorporate it with the cream cheese that we're going to mix it with. Okay, and then we're going to put this back in our bowl. Okay, I gave the cutting board a little cleaning. We have our spinach. We have our cream cheese. I'm going to use about 3/4 of the cream cheese. You can use it all if you want to. It's just I don't want to waste it because it's probably not going to all fit in the pork chops we have. Now you're just going to break this up and start mixing it up. Just gave this a mix. We'll mix it some more in a minute. You really want everything incorporated. We're going to start adding our seasoning to this. Okay, we're going to add some pepper, some black pepper, a little bit of salt. We're going to add some pine nuts. Pine nuts, I love pine nuts. And this is just to give it a little bit of a crunch when you bite into them. I just buy them here, the Nature Eats. If I can find them, I'll link them for you. And the seasoning that I'm going to use for this is some rosemary garlic, the Tony's rosemary garlic. I love this brand. I love all their seasonings that they have. I'll try to find it for you and link it. And so we're going to add some of that in there. And then we're just going to give it another mix. My cream cheese was a little cold still. That's why I can't mix it up real well. You kind of want to have it at room temperature. Okay, just like that. We're going to set this aside and get the pork chops ready. Okay, now we're going to get the pork chops ready. And what I do is I just take a little sharp, very sharp paring knife. Try to squeeze the pork chop like this. I'm going to try to bring you in for a close-up for this. You go right in the center of the pork chop. Make sure your point is down. And then just slide the knife through. And you're going to make a pocket. Just like that. You see that? And I try to go as deep as I can so I can put plenty of cream cheese in there. And we're going to do all of them. Okay, and now we're going to take our cream cheese mixture. See, I divided it into 4 just so I could get about the same amount in each one. And we're going to start stuffing the pork chops. Okay, and then just seal it. Just like that. So you can see, feel the cream cheese when it's in there. So just spread it out with your fingers by pressing it. Just like that. Okay? And then just do the same thing to all of them. Just like that. Now let me wash my hands and we'll season the outside. Okay, now for the outside, we're just going to season them with salt and pepper all the way around. And we're also going to add a little bit more of the Tony's rosemary garlic seasoning. Not a whole bunch, just like if you're sprinkling salt. Okay, and then we turn them over and the same thing. And that's it. I'm going to cover these up and place them in the refrigerator for just a little while, just till I get my other stuff ready, and I'll be back. Alrighty guys, I wanted to show you something before we move on with the recipe. I am only going to fry up 2 of the pork chops that we have. So of course we have 2 left over, and what I do is I separate them on a tray. I pop them into the freezer for about 30 minutes or so, just so they can get, you know, semi-frozen. And what I do is I just freeze them up. I get a bag and I see what size I'm going to need for this. I get my marker, and on the back I just write what it is. and I write the date just so it doesn't get lost in the freezer. And this way, they're ready to go for another meal at another time. You know, when you do your food prep rotation, and then you just seal it. I love my machine. And there you go. You just pop them into your deep freeze. You know what you have. You have the date on them. And also, these come in little ready-made bags for smaller stuff that you can put in here. You can put fruit, nuts, whatever you like. And then of course for the machine, you know, I buy the roll, and I get these off of Amazon, and this is a food saver machine, and I just absolutely love it. Great investment for your kitchen, especially right now during these times that we cannot waste any food. I will have all this linked for you below, guys. Okay, I just wanted to share this little bit with you. Alrighty. The pork chops are ready to go on a skillet. The first thing I did is I'm preheating the oven to 400 degrees. I have my cast iron skillet warming up here. This needs to be pretty hot because we're going to sear the pork chops. I'm waiting to get a little hotter before I put the oil. And I have my tongs ready. And I have my splatter guard ready because of course it's going to splatter, and always keep something here so nobody will touch it and burn themselves. Okay, this is ready. So we're going to put some oil down, and you can see it's already at the smoke point. So we need to put these down right away. Doesn't matter what side you put them on. Hear the searing? I'm sure you can see that. I brought you in for a close-up. You want this pretty hot, and you want it to sit on this side for about 3 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and cover it so it doesn't splatter all over the place, and I'll be back in a few minutes when it's time to turn it. Okay, I'm going to flip these over, and I kept you at a pretty close-up there so you can see what it looks like. Look at that. I'm just going to flip it over. Try not to squeeze it too hard so that the cheese will stay in there. And again, we're going to leave it on this side for about 3 minutes. Alrighty. The pork chops have seared on both sides. I'm going to turn off the heat. I'm going to show you what it looks like. Look at that, yummy. Okay, now the oven is already preheated. It's 400 degrees. We're going to put a little bit of butter on both sides. And this is going to go into the oven, in the skillet. Just like that. And we're going to let it cook until the internal temperature reaches 160, 165. Guys, I'm going to check. They're out of the oven. They were in there for about 15 minutes. I'm going to check the internal temperature, and it should read between 160 and 165. There we go. Perfect. Okay guys, this is ready. I'm going to let them sit there in the skillet so that they can rest and the juices can redistribute, and then I'm going to plate it up and show you what it looks like when we cut into it. Alrighty guys, this is what the pork chop looks like after I plated it up. Look at that. Doesn't that look delicious? I just paired it up with some mashed potatoes, and that's going to be it. Let me cut into it so you can see what the inside looks like. Where the cheese and the spinach, how they're stuffed in there. Doesn't that look delicious? And it's very delicious, guys. I hope you give this recipe a try. I really enjoyed making this one for you. This is a very delicious recipe, a Sunday dinner, anytime. And as I showed you before, if you just want to make one, how I freezer packed the other pork chops. And I will leave all that information linked below, guys. I will leave all the temperature for the pork chop and everything linked in the description bar. If you enjoyed the video, please give us a thumbs up. That tells YouTube that people like this kind of content, and it helps distribute our videos. It really does a lot for my channel, so I really appreciate it if you do that. If you have any questions, leave them in the link in the comments below, and I will get back with you guys. And go check us out on Facebook, where I'm sharing some daily clippets of food that I make every day at Virtual Kitchen with Laura. Okay guys, I'll talk to y'all later.